basically, this deal between Constellation and Meta is about 35% larger in total energy terms on constant capacity basis than the Microsoft deal. But it's worth putting Microsoft as Meta as an operator of data centers into context versus the hyperscalers. What does that math tell you about Meta and what it's doing here?
Well, Meta's playing big for the AI game. They're going to spend, over $65 billion this year in CapEx, and they have one of the highest increases in terms of absolute dollar spent on CapEx to fuel this AI generation. So they're a huge player along with the other hyperscalers. Amazon and Microsoft are obviously going to spend more in CapEx, but the percentage increase is the highest at Meta. And I think what this deal signifies is that we're at the beginning of this AI adoption curve. It's going to take, we're again, inning one, if you will, of a baseball analogy. And this is going to be a multi-decade transformation. I think when you look at the statistics of this transaction, right, it's a 20-year deal, which puts it at the higher end of an energy transaction. They're paying actually more than they would for other energy. Yeah. They're not building a data center near the nuclear plant. It's all virtual. So I think they're effectively, as your other presenter mentioned, this is an offset from a carbon perspective, so better for the environment. And I think they obviously want to get as much capacity locked up as they can before others get to that, to get to those that capacity and energy. So right. I mean, there's multiple things to read in here and look at from our side. We've talked to our energy team, and this again goes to the longer end and longer tail. And obviously, they wanted to save this facility, so this obviously gives them a chance to basically take a facility that maybe was going to be shut down to saving it.
Brent, how much anxiety have you had about energy being the blocker here to these hyperscalers meeting the level of demand?
Massive. I mean, I'm a tech guy, and again, I was just talking to our energy team before I got on. I mean, who would have thought that at this point we'd all be scrambling to understand energy, real estate? I mean, the biggest bottleneck to powering AI right now are the transmission lines from the energy companies to the data centers. And these, we've been told by many that are sometimes 2 or 3 years backlogged. So they can't even, they can get things built, but they can't actually finish the last piece of this because their lead times are so long to get the equipment. So, I mean, we're again, Microsoft has said this to us many times. When they show up every day, they're like, it is like they're on fire the whole day, where they just can't like sit still because there's so many moving pieces to make this all work. For us to basically hit one prompt bar and say, ask a simple question: what hotel should I stay at in San Francisco, based on this budget, or whatever question you want to ask. But like, you think about how simple the questions are, but what actually has to happen in the back end is so complex. And so we're living with massive anxiety, even covering the space, trying to keep up with all the data.
And isn't it funny that it feels but a few weeks ago that the anxiety was that they were overbuilding and that the supply side was just getting too much? Is that a thing of the past, Brent?
It's a thing of the past. I think here's the problem. We're doing third grade math, and nothing against my competitors, but all my competitors put out a data point. Though Hyde data center from Microsoft is on hold. The Wisconsin facility's not coming up live, and everyone goes, AI's over. Everyone run for the hills, sell everything. And that's not what's happening. What's happening is we're doing this efficiently, and we're going to move pieces around. But as Microsoft and others have shown, they're making money. And they're actually generating revenue growth. So it's not about just blowing money and not generating a return. It's balanced revenue growth and profitability. And I think many of the companies that we cover are signaling that. They're going to be pieces that move all over. And sometimes, again, as I said, you can't even find the transmission lines to get to these DCs. So they have to move capacity to other data centers.
Right.
And so it's a giant Rubik's Cube. That is super scrambled, and I'm not very good at Rubik's Cube, so we're trying to figure it out.
Brent, neither am I, to be fair, but what you just said makes me want to go back to the 20-year commitment with this particular nuclear deal, because you can either see it as absolute conviction of the need to source energy at those levels long term because of what AI is doing, or you look at it as a hedge, the need for protection to make sure you've got the energy security if you need it?
I mean, I think it's a combo of both. And again, it's a carbon offset, right, from all the other ways that they're generating power. So there's that, environmental component that they have to be conscious of. So I think they check the box on that. They lock up a facility that perhaps was going to go offline. They protect this power from perhaps others that were going to get it in the AI industry. There's kind of multiple check boxes I think they get out of this transaction. As we understand it, it's virtual. There's no, like Amazon and others are doing nuclear and putting DCs near it. As we understand it, nothing's near it. So, it's a virtual deal, which again is unique. So I think there's kind of multiple threads to pull here. But I think what this signifies is that we are really early. It's going to have massive impacts on all of our lives across every industry. And I think they talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Over the next year, Meta will be able to power full advertising AI actual campaigns, which means if you run a small business, you can say, I'd like a sidewalk sale for my furniture company. And here are the pictures from the last year. I don't have to hire a videographer. I don't have to hire a creative pro. Whatever, you just put the pictures in, all of a sudden it spits out, here's a sidewalk sale Thursday with the band, the wine, the cheese, and here's the discounts, and here's the video, and you do it at a fraction of the cost. I mean, this is pretty incredible what this is going to do for small businesses. And Meta is enabling this small business economy to find the right customers, to generate the right campaigns. It's a completely different world.